Him and Kumkum at their home for a most enjoyable evening. Now he is gone. How to make sense? And so many one by one in such a short time. Can a sage, a yogi, perhaps you know one, give us guidance? What's with 2013 anyway? What will 2014 bring? It's impossible not to think of our own mortality. Satu was such a gregarious and generous person. I will never forget meeting him quite by chance at the bar at Saturday Club. I had gone there to meet someone and was looking all around. Poked into the bar. Satu saw me, treated me like royalty. Drinks followed. I went away feeling like a Maharaja. Please be kind enough to convey my most sincere and heartfelt condolences to Kumkum and family. It's a great loss. From Yaya Bayad in London. Please convey my condolences to the family and all classmates.
Excuse me? Chair, I think.
In USA. Batchmates, I have fond memories of Satu. He was my classmate for many a year in the 50s. His birthday parties at his home on Baligan Circular Road were always special, with Satu being the focal point around whom everything else revolved. Never a dull moment with him around. Then he transferred to Shantiniketan. We would run into each other infrequently, somewhere or the other in good old Calcutta. The occasional adda at Bishu's Café di Monaco on Chorangi stands out. Both Satu and Bishwajit Biswas, senior Cambridge 60, were avid bridge players. You can imagine how well the adda is progressing with the two of them trumping something up with the SXC gang up there. Our last chance meeting was in 1971-72 in Calcutta. He asked me to carry a package for his elder sister, whose husband, Dr. A. Tagore, was a professor at a local college here in Michigan. It would take almost 4 decades for us to reconnect again at BK's house. As usual, he held the trump card. He identified me before I could even open my mouth. Satu wanted Rani and me to come over to his place in February, but because of time constraints, we could not do it. Yes, it's something special we missed, to once again relive the fun birthday parties of the 50s. We only have memories. O bachpan ke din bhula na dena, aaj hanse kal rula na dena. Rest in peace, dear Satu. Our heartfelt condolences to Kumkum and family. Another one from Ronojoy Mazumdar in Bombay. Dear BK, yes, 2013 is indeed a very sad and tragic year for all of us. Please convey my sincerest condolences to the members of the bereaved family. From Ranjan Ghosh. Dear BK, this is shocking news. 2013 has been a sad and unlucky year for us batchmates. Satu was so lively and jovial that I find it difficult to believe that he is no more. For a few months after I joined St. Xavier's School in 1955, Satu and I used to travel together to school as we were living in the BNR colony at Garden Reach. Please convey my and Ratna's sincere condolences to the bereaved family. Ratna and Bandana were classmates in college. From Anup here. Thanks for the information. But this year, 2013, is ending with sad news of friends leaving us one by one. May God give strength and courage to the family to face the reality. Rest in peace, Satu. Shankar Chanda is also here. BK, I am glad it was okay. Meanwhile, I am saddened beyond words at Satu's sudden passing. Only the other day, he and I sat side by side at the condolence meet for Bash. What's happening, BK? This winter, otherwise pleasant, seems to have brought an icy chill into all our hearts. Bereavement is never easy. This year it has come 4 times over. From Zarir Bamji in Sydney. Dear BK, thanks for keeping us informed about our friends, even though this news is so sad. While we all know our inevitable fate, it still saddens us greatly when we lose one of our friends. Please convey my sincere condolences to Satu's family. From Sanjay Chatterjee in Delhi. It was so distressing and disheartening to hear about another death, and that too within the Zaverian fraternity. He was not from the batch of 60-61, was he? But as he was a Zaverian, his passing away has severed a special bond. My condolences to the bereaved family. 2013 has been a shocker of a year. It is that ill omen, number 13 again. Dilip, Kanai, Bashir, and now Debadyuti. All leaving us for the afterlife. I am sure that they are enjoying eternal peace. Although I have not met most of my schoolmates for decades, I remember all of them only too fondly. The loss of any member of the prized group makes me sad beyond belief. However, that is life. I grieve for the families who have to bear the brunt all of a sudden. With sad feelings, Sanjay Chatterjee. From Kirit Patel, this is really shocking. Only the other day at the condolence meet, he was telling me to take care because I had a frozen shoulder. May his soul rest in peace and convey our sincere condolences to the bereaved family. From Ashok Jetka, what's on is really very depressing and stunning. I really don't know what to write. May God give peace to Satura's soul and tolerance power to the family. A really sad 2013. And the earlier it ends, the better it is. From Amit Dev in Bombay. Last year he met me in Mumbai on a rain-soaked and flooded evening and promised recently that he will this year choose a more uneventful evening. He also had promised a few tricks and tips for bridge. He also recently posted his meet-up with his teachers and classmates at Shantiniketan. Rest in peace, Sotu. From Avitava Mukherjee and his sister Anita from California. SXC classmates, once again, so soon. I am stumped and speechless at this very sad news. I just sent an e-card to Sotu on Monday, 23rd December, which he acknowledged and requested to join the Zaverian 1960 group in Facebook. Now that Satu has slipped the surly bonds of this world, may his soul rest in peace, in a far better world with Kanai, Dilip and Bashir. Please convey our sincere condolences to Kumkum and the family. Attached are a couple of photos from our class reunion and Satu's house in February 2013, which speak volumes to Satu's unconditional friendship, fun and frolic. With fond memories of birthday parties and school carpools in Garden Reach, very sadly, Amitabh and Anita. Dilip, would you like to say something?
I have no words, and especially this is such shocking. In fact, when we met last time, he said that we should plan a dinner together. I asked him, he said, no, you have to come to my house and then I'll come to your place because I've been coming to your place here, but you have never come to my house. I said, definitely be there. So he said, when it will be possible? I said, sometime in January because I have my birthday. I'm going out with my family and then we will come and meet them.
That's how it was.
It's surprising, I would say, because as Kirit and we were discussing together when we were sitting with him, he was concerned with all of us.
Sorry.
Yes.
fact, when I shared with Kirit, Kirit was said, now it is time for us to understand and take care. And this is a signal given to us.
That's what he advised me. He said, take care of yourself, because I had a frozen shoulder that time. He said, take care of yourself.
No, I used to meet him many times because he was a bridge player and he used to enter the tournaments. So my cousin from Delhi, Ashok Goyal, used to, he's I think number 1 or number 2 in India. And they always used to play together, and once or twice I asked Ashok, how do you know Satu? And he said, oh, he's a bridge player, so I know him. And 2-3 times we met when I accompanied my cousin. And I told Ashok the other day on the phone about the sad news, and he was absolutely shocked on the phone. He said he used to play bridge so well and so full of life. I can't believe. I said that's what it is about.
But was there any signal or ill health or any such thing as not suffering from anything? No way.
He seemingly didn't suffer. He was always full of life
we never knew it.
very vibrant.
We all saw him as much as we did, or maybe more.
In fact, the only person who was very sick was Dippy, and he continued for quite some time.
Yeah.
Dippy had an heart attack 20 years back, Dilip Kakkar. And he pulled on and he reduced his weight, looked after his food habits and everything. Yeah. And he survived so long, where his eyes were bad, he had a lot of problems, about him. He couldn't see, he was nearly going to be blind and things. But this gentleman was so fit, so perfect.
What about Bash? Bash also.
Bash was
and he had some cardiac history.
Almost 4 years ago, in February 4 years.
4 years.
He had a massive heart attack. Then
bypass.
He had a triple bypass.
Yeah.
Triple bypass.
Triple bypass. Now, this time they said that all 3 have been blocked totally. Plus there were the whole heart was diseased, was damaged. And I'm glad he didn't fall in the house when I was taking him. And we reached the hospital. Otherwise it would have been, I wouldn't have been able to lift him. He was all alone. But, 11 days he pulled through and he was talking normal, doctor said, but then they hadn't done the angiogram. Okay. When they did the angiogram, then they saw the state and they told him. I think in the night he must have thought about it or what. And that same night, I have a feeling he went in his sleep, kind of,
But he had enough signal that he was not well.
Yes.
But here it is
Yes, so there was
no signal, nothing went, where we would think that he will not be. In fact.
Well, how often would you meet? How often would you come to Calcutta? Once a year or something?
I don't know. A few times over in 2012.
Okay.
But otherwise, 2012, October, January, March. 2013 March, 2013 January, 2012 March and October. So a few times over, which is otherwise once a year. So we did see I saw a little bit of Baba. And then of course 2013 December.
What about you, Mayuk?
I saw Baba last March and then missed it.
Anup, you want to Partho?
Well, in a small way, the reason I am here today is, and have met all these people, is because of Fotu. It happened to be maybe 8-9 years ago when I went to, my brother who is 10 years younger pulled me to St. Xavier's reunion. I don't think it was Alsop yet, I can't remember. I couldn't connect up, it was dark, people were making jokes I couldn't understand. And then one of the guys, and looked older man, but he was clearly younger than me, he said, your batchmate is the chief guest of honor. I said, who is that? Gopalakrishna. Okay, so I went down there, found him out, and he said, and Shotu and I think Dipen were there, they were standing, and Shotu recognized me right away. I didn't, honestly. And then he told me that, you have come at a good time. Tomorrow we have our batch party, which is going on for years. It's in Poddar's place. I said, I don't know any Poddar. And then he corrected that it's Sanatani. And then he said, don't worry. He told my brother, he dropped me off at Shotu's place, the same place I unfortunately had to go the other day. Huh?
The younger brother Sumit.
Yeah, Sumit. And then Shotu brought me over to your place. And then I got, one by one connected up, and, since then it's finished. Also, last year, Shotu treated, and Kumkum treated us, me, Jipu, and Shukro, and few others, to his place. It was, he was a different character. I mean, he was, oh my God. He put up, he acted as if he was drunk, but everything he said makes sense, so he wasn't. I could see that he was, and he kept us all, engaged. He said he cooked everything, and then he finally admitted he did nothing. But anyway, it was a great, evening, and it's sad that, what can I say, I landed only 2 days before he passed away probably. I saw the note, I immediately came, I had to, to that place because, but it's sad, what can I say.
He had a formidable appearance. And he used to speak loudly, so one would get jitters. If he didn't know him, he would really a formidable.
And he asked him what he did. He said only he drank and played cards. Okay, but that he played cards I could see, because at his home that day when I came, one of my relatives, I suddenly saw him. I said, what are you doing here? He's a top-rated professor in Florida. He said, because he was my father's bridge mate. I'm Gorada's son. That's how he introduced me to everybody, And so, he had other things, it's not, but only solace probably is he didn't suffer. Whoever he leaves behind is sad, but he went away like a true warrior. That's, you have to take it, that's the best you can take back from it. You wouldn't like him to, somebody like that suffering in pain. It's nothing is in our hands.
I know.
But that.
BK, the last time when you had the condolence meeting for Bashir over here, after that I took a lift from Shotu and Kumkum there and dropped me home. So whilst in the car, he humorously, what way he remarked, Kititu, the way wickets are falling, I don't know, man, probably maybe the next wicket may be mine, And so, देखो कैसे होता है कि कभी कभी मुंह से निकले हुए come true.
But we see so many of our batchmates going this year. Anyone can say that I am going to go in another 1 month or 1 week, and you never know, it might be.
So we had on 19th that condolence, and he passed away on 26th. हफ्ते भर में ही तो हमको एक ही बस उसके लिए एक शेर याद आता है, कैफी साहब की है कि रहने को सदा दहर में कोई नहीं आता, तुम ऐसे गए जैसे कोई भी नहीं चाहता.
Chandan, you have something?
Yeah, I once remember, long years ago, in an in-between place between two stations railway stations in South India, remote region, I was quietly reading a book. Suddenly there was a big shout. And there was Shotu, towering over me. Hey, what the hell are you doing? I said, well, what the hell, I'm earning my bread. I have to do a job. He said, so have I. And he plunked himself down beside me. And never a dull moment after that. Then he asked me what I was doing. I said I was on my way to inspect a State Bank of India branch. He said, we need you in Jamshedpur. I said, how come? He said, you see, I get drafts, bank drafts from State Bank of India, Jamshedpur, and just to get an application I have to pay 10 rupees. Alright? So he said, corruption, you've got to do something. I said, okay, fine. Next time if I can, I'll go to Jamshedpur and get rid of your 10 rupee corruption in Jamshedpur. So then the rest of the journey, never a dull moment, as I said. Then either of us got off somewhere, and I recall that, the book that I was reading, that had to be folded and kept away, and there was a lot of, full of life. The whole journey was never a boring moment after that. So I recall that incident, in a very remote part of South India, suddenly to come across Shotu, and everybody around me would be people I wouldn't know, or strangers.
Obviously.
Yes. And there he was. And then back, he sort of effused a lot of Jesuit outrage and corruption. So it's a very memorable, fond memory I have of that journey.
But supposed to, he was in Indian Oxygen earlier, or he was not?
The Baba was earlier in 10 courts of India.
Then Courts of India, okay.
When did Shotu go to Shantiniketan? Which year? Or in which class?
Just after I took.
After
when we started, when we just
Class
split
9,
up,
yes, when we
split
went to
up,
class 9.
and we got to higher secondary, he started senior Cambridge, and that's the story.
That's the time when
Yes, and after the summer holidays, I heard that Shotu has been shipped off to Shantiniketan.
And he had a ball over there.
Yeah, right. Then he told me after years, we had some connections, He said, Partho, that is the best thing that ever happened to me. Once they sent me to Shantiniketan, and by the in between that period, he also grew quite tall. He was never like me, but he was not a tall man.
Yeah, not tall.
Yeah, but he grew up, and he said, all those effeminate boys in Shantiniketan, I could speak English. All the girls were after me. That was the greatest thing I ever had. He split at that time.
You see, we used to have inter-class football competition, remember?
Yes.
In St. Xavier's. Shotu used to gear up properly for a football match. And when we used to play,
Gear up, what do you mean?
fully attired, with anklets, etc., shin guard, everything, football boot.
Fully equipped.
And fully equipped, yeah. And he used to kick everyone except the ball. And later on, it was a muddy, slushy field. And obviously, kicking everyone means you have to also fall.
Yeah.
Later on, we used to have a bath, in that. So once I told Shotu, what the hell, you are kicking all of us? This field is so slushy, I couldn't stand properly, so that was the reason. But it was not intentional.
But that was a good one, kicking everybody with the ball. Probably he was doing it on purpose.
PK, that reminds me of another interclass match. And they are the heroes. He and Kanai Desarkar, we lost that match, I think, against the A section or something, by 11 or 12 goals. courtesy 10 penalties, Kanai De Sarkar and Anup Chakravarti. Father, sliding, slushy field, raining and all. Father pushes on, next time I'll send you out of the field, and Father can't see. I don't know what.
Was Sotu involved in that?
No, I don't remember about Shotu, but I remember about both Devashish, myself, hands in our heads. Arey Baba, thama hai.
But was Sotu a good sportsman? Was he in any of our classes?
His intentions were good.
He played in the class.
He played?
Intentions were good.
No, he played football in the class team.
How many part in the Fat Boys race? How many of you? I think Bashi took part in the Fat Boys race, yes.
I think I took part in one of those. That time I was fat.
But I think the only other person must have been Arun Dey, nobody else.
Yes, Arun Dey.
अरुण ने तो उसका तो हमें याद रहता है कि भाई स्पोर्ट्स डे में ऑब्स्टिकल रेस में और ड्रम में
He used to get stuck. Every year used to get stuck in the barrel. Yeah.
Uncle, I have a small.
Yeah. Please.
So, we of course had it was 55 by 1 and 55 by 2, and what we called Pada. So, I was the eldest of Baba's building, and Bapi Dada was the eldest of the 55 by 2 building. So that whole place was a playing ground. So at one end it would be good post, another end would be goal post. And Baba was the only guy I used to hear from them who would park the car outside and not insist on parking the car within the gallery so that the boys could play. So when I heard from Bapi Dada, he wrote this letter, and I thought I'll just read out what he had written. Hi Diltu, sorry for the late message. However, it was difficult to find words to describe how I felt when I heard about Shotu Kaka. While growing up in 55 by 2, he was more of an elder brother than a Pada Kaka. He was truly one of the few who encouraged and fully supported the younger generation, where I was the oldest, and wanted us to be the kids we were, and find our own way growing up. I mean this from the perspective of not only encouraging all the physical activities that kids needed, but also how we were doing in general. He was a shining star in our eyes. In essence, he was a person who enjoyed life and was extremely flexible and liberal in an age of Kolkata where people tended to be more boorish and narrow-minded. He kind of represented the 70s for me. I remember him coming over to Salt Lake as soon as he heard about Baba passing away. It meant a lot to me. He'll be a star etched in my memory forever. I hope you and your family are coping with this as well as you can. My thoughts are with you.
So, do you have any other interesting memories or anecdotes about Shotu?
So Baba just, I was having lunch with Baba on the 24th. I'm actually a hotelier in profession. And, it's what's happening in the business is transformative in many ways. I was giving him stuff like that people are moving out of the traditional way and moving into digital era, and I want to make a radical change, things like that which are going on. I was bouncing off thoughts in my head. Baba was a little bit of a believer in, sticking with things.
Traditionally.
He was a little believer in these things. He always felt that what I was saying, so we had debates. So Baba said, and we were talking about people and places and how career paths, and he said, Diltu, the ultimate thing that, remember what you are looking for is ultimately happiness. And that is exactly what, that now everybody has, while I was at this, I was talking about somebody else I really looked up to, who's a good songwriter and could not make it enough. Who I felt could not make it enough, though he was a brilliant songwriter. So he says, it doesn't mean that he's unhappy, because the happiness equation is different for you and is different for someone else.
Very true.
And is different for someone else. And proficiency or efficiency or competence or success is again a very, very different parameter. If you are not necessarily, you may be great in talent, but you may be weak in administration and management. So
That does not necessarily mean that you are unfortunate. Just because you are talented, it does not mean that you have man management and
skills, yeah,
and all the skills. So you need a balance of a few. So different strokes for different people, and always look at the end goal, which is being happiness. This is my lunch conversation with Baba. So that's the last piece that he had left me with, and Baba would always leave me with something.
Very practical, but
just 2 days
on the day. So 24th evening, he felt he was having, while we were watching a movie,
okay.
Baba switched off the volume. And 24th lunch, we had lunch together. 23rd, we were both families, Pooja's family, we were all together, we had drinks.
And 25th early morning is when he felt a little breathless and they went to the nursing home.
when he switched off the TV, that means he was not feeling well.
He told me that he was feeling constricted. But old one, I don't want to.
That pain here kind of thing.
He said he was feeling constricted.
I mean, essentially, he didn't give us really a chance to react. And
As she
typically,
said.
like Baba, he took the lead, he called the doctor, called the place where
Yeah,
he
he
wants
called
to
the
go,
doctor
and
himself. He drove.
He didn't give us a chance
sat
to
in the
even,
front car.
come up and think ahead of what we want to do. So, he just did all in that position. He called up, this is where I want to go, this is where I want to speak, therefore I'm going. So, we had son, and we just didn't get a chance to even, okay, this is where you don't go, this is where you go.
No, in
Or
hindsight,
this is what we want you to do.
in hindsight, the only thing that I would tell my friends is that have a routine in your head. Because then you are actually flushing. So if you have a routine or a plan in your head, then you may be better equipped, be it fire or be it any emergency. Have a pre-decided routine is.
But I Mukuta say that two of them, Sotu and Bashir, they lived life to the full. You could not restrain them.
I met two other people like that. We had two other friends like that.
Yeah, Dalip was also.
And it seems as if, sort of, the Almighty sort of tells them, you've got this much time now, do what you want. This is what Bashi said.
Exactly.
I've got, I don't care about any, four of his friends, I think before Dilip, then Burman, and there were Bhavesh.
Are these
also.
batchmates?
Yeah.
Yes.
All batchmates.
My husband.
These are all of equal age.
In the same year,
Kind of.
in school in the same year, same
Batchmates and
class.
friends.
4-5 of them died within this 4-5 months. So he said, I don't care. I'm not going to listen to anybody. And look at this one. He didn't drink. He didn't smoke. Nothing. He's got cancer. That one just fell on the golf course. So what's the point? Just eat, drink, and enjoy life and be good. And that's what he did. And it looks as if these 6 months he did everything. We went to Mauritius for 2 months. He enjoyed everything. He met all my relatives, and he read 11 books. He sat on the balcony there next to the sea and listened to jazz music regularly. And he really enjoyed. Then we came back. My daughter came out of the blue after I don't know how long, for 10 days. And for the first time after decades, Rahel, Farzana and my daughter-in-law and myself, we were all together as a family. And she came alone. So it was like going back so many, when they were kids. And Nishka, of course, your friend came. And we were, I don't know, last time I came I was so broken, but after these few days, it's almost a month now, the more I think about it, the more I saw how, whether you believe in God or not, He plans things. He plans things, and out of the blue my daughter came, and then we had such a great time, and he enjoyed himself. She left Saturday evening, Sunday morning he went in. And he's told everyone in the 11 days in the hospital, About 10 people went to see him in ICCU. He said, we have paid for it, two tickets to Tanzania in January. I may not make it, but make sure that, Nazira goes. You must make sure that she goes. Yesterday I went to Dr. Nipa Gandhi and she told me, she said, this is what he told us. That that wasn't my idea, but it was her, make sure even if I don't make it. As if they know that something, and they say things which later on you say, oh, he said this and he said that. It's incredible. And he waved to Hanan in such a way. And there's another young student of mine who's become more like a daughter, Farah, and she said, he never touches my hand. I mean, we've been uncle, never, but he held my hand and he said bye to me. And so many little things you pick out and you say. Like Vinita, another friend of ours who went and died on the table, operation table, and same thing, she was having a great time. And we all sort of sometimes were wondering why she's so loud, so aggressive. And she went like this. I have noticed that many of these people who are very, very, lively and all, as if they have a mission to accomplish. Hurry up, let's live life to the full, and then we go. So deep down, I have a lot of consolation. I mean, especially the way he went also. I think he's in sleep. He just didn't even ring the bell, and they saw it in the room that his condition wasn't good, and he was gone, and that's it. He didn't suffer.
Premonition, like Kanai uncle knows. He said, so back to square one.
Yeah.
He said.
Mayuk, you have any anecdote or something interesting to share about Satu?
Baba was this, this towering personality, and I actually spent quite a bit of my working life in Kolkata, like Mukut, who left early. So I came back and I spent about 7 years, of my initial thing of going up in whatever working life in Kolkata.
So you started working in Calcutta?
Yeah, I started my work in Calcutta, and I was close to nearly 8 years. Before 2007, I went off to Delhi because I wanted to move out of Calcutta. So Baba would, love to, sit with his drink in the evening and call me and give me lots and lots of, information / gyan / stuff that I'm, probably cherish all my life. And it would invariably start with an observation, and I would give a small contradiction, and Baba would lose his temper. And then it will be a to and fro argument. If I would say, even small thing like Sachin Tendulkar is a good right-hand batsman. No, he's a good left-hand batsman. You don't know. So it went along with that, and Baba would also sit with a tall glass of water, and when he wanted to control his drinking, and suddenly said, I will stop drinking for 6 months. And for 6 months he would come in the evening and sit with a tall glass of water and sip it.
Oh, he really was off drinks.
He would do that, and 6 months no drinks. He wouldn't touch it, and would sit with it, come home in the evening, one tall glass of water and keep sipping it. And the moment 6 months is over, pour his drink again, start all over again. So that was Baba, and that was Baba.
That's willpower.
That's
Strong willpower.
That was some time back, but yeah.
Yeah, but he would do that, and I don't know, maybe he wanted to continue drinking later on, so that spaced myself out. But Baba would be very strict about that. If he'd said, okay, I'll not do something, especially drinks. He said, okay, I'll not drink for some time, and he wouldn't drink for some time. You wean yourself of that, you wean yourself of alcohol, and then and then again restart.
What about Pooja and Rupa? Do they?
I just met him in March, and this was our first visit post we got married.
Okay.
So it was just a day. I mean, it's been quite incredible.
I've been
But
fortunate.
you used to stay where?
Bangalore.
Bangalore.
Yeah.
Okay.
I've been fortunate enough to, initial marriage years of mine, the first 8 years were with my father-in-law. And he saw me that I did not know Bengali, I did not know Kolkata lanes. He pushed me into learning driving, and then he said, you have to, learn to be independent, know the roads here, know the language, know the people. Today I speak Bengali, and Baba was very proud of it. And he gave me all the love that I never expected.
But you hail from a Bengali community or no?
I come from a South Indian community, Bangalore, Karnataka.
That was a big transition.
Yeah, but the transition was very smooth because of Baba and Ma, who gave me all the right encouragement and love and affection. I never felt, Baba never forced me into anything. He just let me be whatever I was. And they just gave me love. That gave me all the strength.
Daughter-in-law get more affection than the sons.
Yeah. That is there. I got.
Yeah, somebody told me that also. You love your daughter-in-law so much. You shouldn't, she should do things for you. I said, listen, I'll do anything. I'll cook, I'll feed her, I'll make her fat, so long as she looks after my son. Make him happy. That's a very selfish thing, isn't it?
Bandana, you have something to share with us?
To say
No. It's okay, absolutely.
her husband used to come to our house to play cricket and all when he was in class 6 and 7 and 8 with my brother. They wouldn't play in the lawn, they had to go upstairs on the terrace and drop the ball every now and then. And we would have to run downstairs to get the ball for them. And then last time he spoke to me, I remember it was at your party, he came to me and he said, "Where is your brother?" And he was towering over me, So I felt a little frightened the way he came. Why, what has he done? Where is he? When is he coming to Calcutta? I said, he's not coming this year, not for this party at all. When will he come? I said, I don't know. I'm going to skin that fellow when he comes with a blunt knife slowly. I was really scared. I told my brother, what have you done? Why did you have to tell me at the party he's going to skin you alive? And he just laughed it off and he wouldn't tell me what he had done. But I was really frightened that day. I was so angry with my brother. He was very sweet.
I think last SK attended one of the gatherings on his way back from Bangladesh, I think 2 years or 3 years back to Maligarh. SK Ghosh.
Shubir.
Yeah,
he was there. 2 or 3 years back.
2-3 years back.
There's a joint which Deepan knows on Raspberry. It's called My Club. So My Club, the whole lot of us used to give adda in the evening. Shotu was also party to it.
He's always a part of any adda.
Yeah. And the best part of this man is, he always supported the friendship. I was, the other day at CCFC, I met Pradeep Chanda. And Pradeep Chanda, he said, where is putting up? Well, I'm putting up at Shutu's place. So Pradeep Chanda was one of the addabaj in my club. So his relation, once you meet him, he always keeps his relations alive. That was one of, I have heard about this from several people, and it's amazing. I mean, to keep in touch with all your old friends is marvelous.
Yeah, it's okay. Since both of us who work on the market and Baba was in India, we had this dinner table battle, we're probably short of all the weapons drawn like forks and spoons. But so yeah, we used to have very lively arguments, and believe you me, and just to kind of drive it home sometimes, for your meetings, for your this thing, Baba used to dress very snazzily. And I know when I see that shirt, I remember Baba used to be very upbeat all evening about coming here and meeting, and he would really rub it in. I'm going for the St. Xavier, and I'm like, okay, fine, I get the point and all that. So Baba used to really rub it in, and he used to love coming here, and I think Ma will bail me out on this. Wear the snazziest of clothes and upbeat all evening.
Yeah.
To come here. I think because I was there in that, in those years when Baba said, he used to come every year and he used to
he would speak for the next
come
2 days
and
about
shout and scream in front of the room, I'm going.
That's exactly his tone that you've copied.
This is something we all, cherish.
See, he used to give us,
for last 20 years.
It's a bhoj called, in the marriage when you call it, it's a bhoj with silver spread out and all that. That is what BK style, And normally, the vegetarian food, you get something different than what you are eating every day, and all he used to get different cuisines at his place. So that is one of the, looking forward for everyone to get that good evening,
And the jalebis, the hot jalebis.
No, everything.
I think the first time I met this thing was because he's also a musician. He plays blues and jazz. He's part of rock. So I remember Mukul told me that it's Alliance Francaise in Bangalore, and we were just started dating. I mean, I don't know what I'll call it. We just started getting to know each other. We met at Lamatnia Alumni in Bangalore, and so he was going to be his father come to visit him, and so I was going to see the show. And then Mukul introduced me, and he just said, "This is Pooja," and immediately got up and he said, "Okay, you're the one who's after my son." I was so sad. I mean, that was the first. I was like, but and Mukul and we both had our mouth open. Very instinctively, very comfortable. In fact, when last year we weren't planning to get engaged. We had come for my batch reunion.
Okay.
And then we said, why don't we meet the families up? And since we were a little serious about each other, and it was so instinctively comfortable because when I met Mukut's parents, they were like, I felt a cut copy paste of my parents. It's the same ambience of sort of growing up. It didn't feel different. So I don't know, it was I think Providence that we landed up on 23rd.
His plan everywhere.
And his instinctive retort to seeing you for the first time, it used to come naturally to him, He didn't have to think. It was instantaneous.
Spit it out, yeah.
Absolutely, it was.
Talking about encouraging, I was just sharing with your mother. She teaches one of my grandson's batchmates.
Grandson Ashish's
batchmate.
Which one?
Madhav, आप शायद नहीं पहचानते. So I asked him one day because she told me, she said that I know your grandson because I think. Then he had come one day, then he says yes. He says, but more than auntie, I like uncle. I said, when I was sharing with her, she said because he would always encourage, you must play tennis. Don't bother us so much about your studies, they're not so important. Tennis is more important. So that's what I said, no wonder he's more like uncle. He said, I like uncle more than auntie.
Satil used to know how to get around children, on their side.
You're talking about your generation, I'm talking about the next generation, but he still does that.
Shall we? Yes, let's have some tea or something. Yeah, that
And having coffees and
Very true.